All right, next up, from the central region, where the skies are wide open, the accents are Midwest polite, and every flight eventually crosses their airspace. Please bring into the stage the Central Region RVP, Aaron Merrick.
Thank you, Mick. I was at the bottom of the stairs backstage practicing my Sean Ellis Navy SEAL breathing exercises before I came out here. I'm not sure if he's still here, but thank you for that tip. Before I get going into this year's award winner, I just want to make sure on behalf of the Central Region and the 30 members that attended this year, I just want to thank the CFS Planning Committee, everybody that had a hand in this great event. I think this is the best yet. After being to many of these, it's just great to continue to see so many of our brothers and sisters, folks from industry, the agency, and all over the world coming here to support us and what we do. So thank you. I also want to thank folks that I work really closely with, all of our NATCA staff that play a huge part in everything that we do, especially here at this event, and two specific committees that I am honored to work with, which would be our NATCA Safety and Technology Leadership Committee, the Nestle, and our ITC committee. So the Nestle, many of our Article 114 reps that were here this week, you probably saw them in breakouts. You saw them in various the side rooms giving briefings. They do amazing work, and a lot of the stuff that we need to do in the future is really rest on their shoulders. So thank you to all Article 114s. Thank you to the Nestle, and for the ITC. A lot of them are backstage. I just went back and gave them a couple pats on the shoulders. They're working on the live stream back home. And it's just, I'm humbled to be able to work with each and every one of them. So I just want to give them a round. And I truly debated if I was going to say this, but I am a good sport. Being from Kansas City, I just want to say congratulations to my brothers and sisters that are Philadelphia Eagles fans. All right, I got that out of the way. Every day is a training day, the theme of CFS back in 2022. And on November 3rd of 2024, that mantra was on full display in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. CPC Devin Turner was training Nathan Mencke on the R3 radar position at Cedar Rapids Tower and Tracon. That afternoon, November 1351 Charlie, the Cessna Cardinal, was en route from Oklahoma City to the Iowa City Municipal Airport, where the pilot was preparing for the RNAV runway 25 approach. Weather conditions across eastern Iowa that day were poor, with low ceilings and widespread instrument meteorological conditions, IMC, plaguing the entire area. As November 1351 Charlie was cleared for approach, Turner and Mencke noticed that the pilot was struggling to intercept the final approach course and began to issue vectors. However, they were unable to get the aircraft established on final. When asked if they were established on the approach, the pilot said that they were, quote, wobbling around, indicating to Turner and Mencke that there may be more to the situation than the strong southerly winds that they were facing that day. Continuing to work the situation, Turner and Mencke worked at another attempt to get the aircraft on the approach. Then the pilot advised that she was having issues with her instruments. What followed was a terrifying series of spiraling descents over the course of several minutes as the pilot battled spatial disorientation inside of the clouds. Let's take a look at the video.
I'm trying to get some instruments here.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, maintain 3,200.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, level your wings and climb. Level your wings and climb. Low altitude alert, Cardinal 1351 Charlie. The minimum vectoring altitude in your area is 3,200. Cedar Rapids altimeter 2972.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, do you have control of the aircraft now?
5-1 Charlie. Not sure yet.
Remember 1351 Charlie, just confirm you are in level flight.
Negative. Wings are level. Instruments, I think, are just a little wacko.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, if you can, fly westbound. Get you away from those towers.
Flying westbound.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie, how much fuel remaining and souls on board do you have?
One on board and, as I say, a bit over a quarter of a tank.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, roger. And I'm showing you now on about a 60 or 70 heading, and you're continuing that left turn. Cardinal 1351 Charlie, do you have no gyro vectors?
I think it's working. I'm just trying to get control of it again, I think.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, roger. Yeah, I'm showing on about a 70 heading now, just about 30, 40 degrees off. There's a push from the southeast. Cedar Rapids wind 13014, but that's more than what we would expect to see. Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, turn right, heading 160.
5-1 Charlie, turning right, 160.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, indicating 3,600 free altitude. Turn left, heading 250, and intercept the runway 25 final approach course.
5-1 Charlie, turning left, 250 to intercept the final approach course.
And our Cardinal 1351 Charlie showing it 90 knots now, and 3,500 descending.
Affirmative.
Cardinal 5-1 Charlie, indicating 70 knots now.
5-1 Charlie, I'm showing in ground speed of 90 knots.
Roger.
Thanks for all your help, by the way.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie, not a problem. Cardinal 1351 Charlie, how you doing now?
5-1 Charlie, just looking for this airport.
Cardinal 51 Charlie, roger. And the airport's still at your 12 to 1 o'clock in about 7 miles.
5-1 Charlie, thanks.
Low altitude alert, Cardinal 1351 Charlie. Check your altitude. Altitude indicates 1,600.
That's affirmative.
Roger. Cardinal 1351 Charlie. Let me know when you do get the field in sight. Hold on to for a little bit longer than normal. That says you're 12 o'clock and about 5 miles.
5-1 Charlie, will advise. Thank you.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie. Looks like you're heading straight westbound now. So it's actually at your 11 o'clock. It looks like you're indicating a 270, and it's about 260, 250 from your position.
Yeah, adjusting 5-1 Charlie.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie, let me know if you lose sight of the ground.
Will advise right now, have the ground.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie, airport's now at your 11 to 12 o'clock, and about 4 miles. Altitude indicates 2,000. How are you doing?
5-1 Charlie, in and out with visibility here. I do show my instruments that I'm pretty much on track with the glide slope too.
Cardinal 51 Charlie, roger.
5-1 Charlie, I have the airport in sight.
Cardinal 1351 Charlie, roger.
Cedar Rapids clearance, Cardinal 1351 Charlie, safely on the ground in Iowa City, and many thanks for everything.
When the pilot regained control and broke out of the clouds, she was at 300 feet AGL. Devin worked to get her clear of obstacles and eventually to land safely at Iowa City. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the background, both in the control room and in the cockpit. I'm not a pilot, but I just happen to know someone who is that can talk us through what was happening in the cockpit that day. Please help me welcome to the stage the pilot of November 1351 Charlie, Minnetta Gardinier.
Well, you shouldn't be standing for me, but I know you'll be standing for the guys that come in after me. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity for me to join the group here today to acknowledge my profound appreciation for the services provided by ATC. Most of my flying, which is nearly 3,000 hours since my intro flight in 2003, and most of it's been single pilot. My practice since getting my instrument rating is to file an IFR plan with nearly every flight that I take. So I talk to ATC all the time. And I've landed in 47 of the lower 48 states. So I've talked to a lot of ATC around the country. And again, I thank you for all the work that you guys do. Guys and gals, actually, I should say. And with that, I'll offer a happy Wednesday. Last November, I was flying what was a routine flight from Iowa City to Oklahoma City, or from Iowa City to Oklahoma City and then back. But I went down to Oklahoma City to attend the 99's Board of Directors meeting, their fall meeting. So I am the vice president for the International Organization of Women Pilots, the 99's. So I know some of you out there are 99s. Thank you. But needless to say, the flight home was a life-changing experience for me. Again, I've made the flight between Iowa City and Oklahoma City twice a year for the last probably 8 or 9 years, I think. And it's a flight I always enjoy doing. On the flight down, it took me 6.5 hours to get there with one fuel stop. On the flight back, it was going to be about a 3-hour flight with no need for a fuel stop. So I had a heck of a tailwind coming home. My Cardinal cruises about 120 knots, and I think I was going about 160 coming home. Until I had to turn to make the inbound turn to come into Iowa City, where I went from 160 down to about 80 knots on my ground speed. I don't know if you guys can see a slide. I'm not seeing it on the screen, and it might be just lighting. But there were a few things that are a little different on that flight home, besides the tailwind and the headwind. I got turned over to Chicago Center a little bit later than I anticipated. I got vectored on my outbound flight to come in back around on the inbound a little closer to the path than I anticipated. And again, with all the turning around and the changes in airspeed, basically I didn't have things under control, obviously. About a week after, once I landed in Iowa City, I got called by the tower right away, just somebody calling from the tower asking. I'm not sure if it's one of these controllers or somebody else, but I got a call from the tower as I right after I pushed my plane into the hangar at Iowa City. Just somebody asking, a controller asking how I was. And I said, well, I was kind of decompressing in my hangar. And a few days later, I met with Logan Glass, who was the operations supervisor at the time in the tower. He came to Iowa City Airport. And I spent 3 hours reviewing the flight with him, and I listened to the whole tape. We went through all the radar vectors and all of that. And it was, definitely an experience to decompress from all of that. And over the next several months, I kind of processed the experience and put together a safety seminar for Wings Credit. I was hosting our north central section of the 99s in Iowa City in April. And I told Logan that I would like to offer a safety seminar to our 99s on this event, and I did. And so it was great to use it as a learning exercise. And it was something that a lot of the members appreciated, and hopefully I'll share the story more broadly as I have gotten used to talking about it a little bit more calmly. So again, lessons learned is to avoid the complacency with the winds and the clouds and ask for what you need when you need it. And I think that was the only thing. I mean, I've flown a lot of hours. I've talked to ATC a lot. Certainly talked to the guys at Cedar Rapids a lot. But, I kind of thought to myself as I was coming into Iowa City, I should maybe connect with Chicago and ask to get when they were going to transfer me over, and I didn't do that. And when I was tracking outbound, I was thinking I was a little close, knowing that the winds were going to push me across, and I failed to do that. And the one thing as a student pilot back in 2003, and the thing that gets drilled into your head in Iowa City, is to watch out for the Tipton TV towers. And so when Cedar Rapids ATC turned to me to the right to come back around to make the flight in, I was nervous about hitting those towers. And they did remind me that I was well above the towers at the time. But I wasn't processing that because I was processing some other things. And when they offered for me to go up to Cedar Rapids to do the landing there, I said no, I was comfortable coming back around if they would bring me back around. And because I thought at the time the ceilings were lower in Cedar Rapids than they were in Iowa City. And when I was going through the various spirals, and when I finally came out of the clouds, I had in my head ceilings in Iowa City were 1,000 feet. And when I broke out of the clouds and saw the ground, I was thinking 1,000 feet, but I was also thinking the ground looks a lot closer than 1,000 feet. So in retrospect, yeah, the ceilings were lower in Cedar Rapids, and I was closer to Cedar Rapids at the time. So they offered for me to go down to Moline, Quad Cities, which was further away, and I was getting a little bit concerned that I didn't want to go down there if I had to go do a go-around, and fuel was an issue. And by that time, I felt more comfortable with the plane, and I just said, take me back out, and I'll come in again to Iowa City, and that's what happened. But again, there were just a few places where I could have asked for something different, could have asked to turn left away from the towers and have them bring me out that way, and I didn't. And so I guess those were my lessons learned. And again, I just cannot thank the controllers at Cedar Rapids enough. And yep, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Minnetta. Throughout the harrowing ordeal, Devin demonstrated the very essence of professionalism while simultaneously providing on-the-job training to Nathan. Despite the high-stress situation, Devin and Nathan maintained clear, calm communication and expertly guided Minnetta through the unfolding event. Their composed demeanor ensured a safe outcome and provided a valuable learning experience to then a future CPC and now a fully certified professional controller. Brothers and sisters, please help me welcome to the stage the 2025 Archie League Medal of Safety Award winners for the Central Region, Devin Turner and Nathan Mencke.
Thank you all. I've never spoken before, so I'll try to make this as painless as possible. I'd like to thank my wife and my kids, people who raised me. I'd also like to say something else. While the events that occurred were extraordinary, the controlling really wasn't, right? There was no heroic saves, no brilliant ideas, no clever tricks, right? Pretty standard, basic controlling. And in reality, it's the pilot, right, that fixed the problems, and we were there to guide her. Right, this morning at breakfast, a nice lady approached me, a pilot for UPS, and she asked me about the Archie. This is on my badge, and so I was telling her a little bit about it, and that a feeling of imposter syndrome, right? Like you hear about these people making very significant saves, right? And it didn't feel like I did enough to really earn the award. And I'm not going to pretend like I remember the quote verbatim, I'm not a speaker, but she said something along the lines of, well, I'm sure you helped keep her calm, and that's a big deal. And I think that's important, right? So this is just a reminder that sometimes all the pilot really needs is a calm, cool, collected voice on the other side of the frequency. And an anchor so that they can focus on operating the aircraft as safe as possible. So thank you.
So, as you heard in everything, it was absolutely insane. And if you were to tell me 3 years ago when I first joined the agency that I'd be here in Vegas surrounded by our brothers and sisters for this, I would have told you you were out of your mind. And here we are, and it truly is surreal to know that while it feels like we're just doing our job day in and day out, that all the actions and the words we say really can, in this case, change and save someone's life. And as Devin said, yes, the pilot is, in the end, doing all the actions. Just the fact that we're there doing what we can to keep things as safe as possible really does mean the world to a lot of people. And that's about all that I have for that. But thank you very much.